American football in Finland.
The voice in your ears and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Pervis, and this is American Football in Finland. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Coach Q. What's going on, man?
What's up? What up? What up? We back, baby.
Yeah, first week. We got a lot to talk about. The AFF podcast is available everywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can visually check us out here on YouTube. Wherever you listen, make sure or watch, make sure you subscribe, follow, and like us. Anyone who listens or watches but doesn't hit the like or follow subscribe button, we know you're a hater, but that's cool because we're going to get on with the show. Okay, so it's first time. This is usually when we talk about what's going on in our mind. Coach Q, what's going on with you lately?
Not much, man. Still dealing with this house stuff. Same old, spending money, all of my money, man. But other than that, man, just enjoying this summer weather in Florida. Doing it normal, man.
Is it hot out there or is it just like normal?
Yeah, it's getting pretty warm right now. I mean, it was already hot before, but now it's like summer heat coming.
Mm. Yeah, well, for me, I'm trying to still adjust to the quote unquote, because if you're not seeing quote unquote summer here in Finland, where it's warmer, but I guess there's pollen and stuff because I got really bad allergies. I've been putting it online. Like my throat is scratchy. You can hear it. I kind of lost a little bit, but I got it back. And then when I got back to Finland, there's like a tickle in my throat for some reason and a little bit of a runny nose. And I guess it's just me not being, from here. I'm not accustomed to the weather. And I don't want to hear what anybody has to say about, well, you lived there forever. You should have adjusted. It takes generations, guys. It takes generations for your body to evolve and be okay with living in different climates. I am still from Texas. No matter what happens, I'm from Texas. And this weather always gets me. So I'm and you'll hear it here too during the show. My voice get a little bit raspy. And it's not because I lost it again. It's because I'm dealing with whatever this is going on. I got a tickle in my throat, and it's not a sickness or a cold because I was in Seattle. I came back to Finland. I was here for 2 days. My throat damn near closed up. I went to Denmark for the weekend. I was fine all weekend. I was there for 3 days, no problems. I get back to Finland. It's Monday, and my voice is already raspy again. It's definitely the air here in Finland. But outside of that, I'm excited about the weather. It's looking good out here. I'm still wearing pants and a jacket because I get cold easily. But most people are wearing t-shirt and shorts. Good to see people being out, a little bit more people outside, riding bikes even, not as many people in cars and buses and stuff. So it's good to have summer officially kicked off in the middle, almost the end of May here in Finland. But we caught up. So that's good. All right, let's get into some football. Hold on. Let me try to do this.
Calling all youth football players. Are you ready to shine this midsummer? Join us at the AFF Nordic Challenge, June 18th through 21st in Helsinki. Showcase your skills to USA college coaches, train with some of the top coaches in Europe, and compete in one-on-ones. Get insider tips at exclusive recruiting sessions and seize international opportunities. You can even win big with camp-sponsored prizes. Space is limited, so register now.
All right. We're going to do players of the week now since we actually saw games last week. We're going to announce them on our social media earlier, but of course, we want to explain our picks in depth. And first, let's start with offensive player of the week. Quarterback from the Kuopio Steelers, Josh Taylor. I'm going to throw out his stats, even though stats isn't why we pick these players, but if we have them, we throw them out for you. Josh Taylor was 12 for 17, 212 yards, 5 touchdowns, and that was just passing. But then he had 7 rushes for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns. So combined, I didn't do the math. Let me do it now. 9, 5, 4. Combined, he had 349 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's what this man did. And again, normally we don't really care about the stats, but I mean, his stats kind of tell you what it is. Q, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you saw from Josh Taylor this week.
I mean, like I said, I called it Preseason. I said that he was going to be a problem. Him and Austin Brock was going to be a problem. You combine that with Nessie and his ability to call plays for offense like that. That's what you got. I mean, they went against a team that's not depth-wise, I think, ready for the season. They probably have some more guys coming in, but Josh, and I mean, he's exactly what I thought he was going to be. Actually, he was a lot better running. I didn't see that much film of him running before, but he's a runner too. So it's a dual threat quarterback that Kuopio has right now. Great statement game, great start to the season. This is exactly how you want to go into the season, getting your offense, clicking, going, seeing who can make plays, just seeing the excitement. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it starts with your quarterback, and he had a great game. I can't wait to see what else he does and bring to the league.
Yeah, I was really high on Josh going into the season. I said he was going to do great, and he did do great. But I was super impressed, like you said, about the running. Like, that is not – I mean, we never said that the guy was, like, slow, but you didn't think he was going to have so much success running. A little bit of that is on the Crusaders' defense for being, straight trash. But he's still, like, the guy got some wheels, and he was making really good plays. It wasn't like he was forcing anything. He made throws that needed to be made. He ran when he had to run. He was really smooth. He seemed very comfortable in the offense. And I think, again, we're giving credit to Nessie for that. But that's something that really stood out about him was that he was very calm. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but there was a point in the game where I guess they were playing music. I don't listen to the audio when I'm watching. I guess they were playing music, and he was sitting there, getting his little vibe on. And I thought, okay, this man is having a good time. He had his little hand rolling, getting his little thing. What I want to throw out here, because Josh, I know you're probably watching or listening, is, I mean, if you're going to have that type of swagger, man, let us get some celebrations. Step it up a little bit. We love the celebrations. Finland is one of the few places where you can celebrate after you score a touchdown and the referees won't just throw a flag. Like, they do a good job of letting you guys kind of be yourselves after you score. So I like to see a little bit more hype. I know you want to celebrate with your teammates, but you out here now, man. You might as well, make a couple little moves. And you look like you had a little vibe to you, so I want to see if you can really move. But again, shout out to Josh Taylor. Great game this week. Let's move on to our defensive player. I don't think we actually have stats on him, but I think anyone who watched the Seinäjoki Crocodiles this weekend saw our defensive lineman Charles Acano, and he was everywhere, every play. Q, tell us a little bit about why you thought he was the standout this week for us on defense.
Charles was very, very active for that defense. If anybody that follows the Crocs like we have over the years, they always bring in backers or D linemen that can get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what Charles was doing. He's going to be a force to reckon with. You know what I'm saying? Another one, that first game. A lot of times it's not all about how crazy, their stats look. It's just the presence that he has, the presence that he's showing. He showed the rest of the league that they don't have to worry about him. One-on-one blocking, it's not going to happen a full game. You're going to have to chip him. You're going to have to get some help right there for your tackles. Otherwise, he's going to have a defensive player of the year type season if nobody makes any adjustments to him. If he stays healthy and he does what we seen him do, he was everywhere, literally everywhere, sideline to sideline, very, very active. He had the Porvo offense just in a trance, right? It wasn't just him, but his play, his presence itself. That's what you need from the D-line. That's what you want from your front seven, especially when you don't have the DBs to back you up like that. So he had a great start to the season. I can't wait to see what else he's going to bring to the league too. He's another one, fresh import. I like defensive import because I was one myself. So to see him come in and do what he did, it's got to be exciting for the Crocs to see that and knowing that they have a baller in him.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, he was everywhere. What I really liked was his speed. There was one play, if anybody who watched the game, where he jumped the snap count and got through the line, unblocked, untouched, actually missed the quarterback because he got through untouched, and like everybody thought he jumped off sides, but he just perfectly timed it. And I'll talk about this later, but Porvu's right tackle had nothing for him all day. And they have to fix that. But the thing about it was they moved him a little bit too. And I seen him go from one side to the other in the matchups that they used to make sure that he was successful. But the Butchers, as soon as they found out that, okay, we can't block this guy, they started changing their offense. They tried to go away from him. They tried to chip, like you said, that didn't work. So they tried to do different things. And the whole game, you saw the Butchers offense, they were trying to adjust for him more than anything else, which allowed everyone else on their defense to really just play freely. You saw Topola made a couple of like really great plays. I can't remember the name of the other guy, but there was another linebacker that was, double Fei. He made a couple of plays, and a lot of that was based on them adjusting to Charles Akana, like them adjusting to him, let his teammates be great. And that's, again, I don't know what the stats were because we didn't get defensive stats for some reason, but I think that's what's really going to make him stand out this year is that he's going to make the Crocodiles defense really good, which is something we were worried about going into this game. I'm no longer worried. I am no longer worried. It only takes one game for me to really see how good someone is, and he proved it pretty much in that first game. So that's it for our players of the week. We enjoy talking about these guys, and we expect to see them probably up here again later on. But we'll move on now to our next segment. Okay, so now we're going to talk about key player performances. And don't worry about all the stuff going on because I'm trying to do this episode this time, but it's okay. So we'll talk about key player performances, and we'll put stats aside. I mean, even though we're going to talk about them, but stats aren't really what's making us pick these guys. And we're going to mix it up a little bit this year, and we're going to do something called helmet stickers. This is something new, kind of fun that we'll enjoy. And what we'll do is we can give players either 1, 2, or 3 helmet stickers, depending on their performance. That way, we don't have to pick all like the best players. Some guys just stood out, and we just want to give them a little bit of love. And that's what this segment is for. We're gonna call it helmet stickers. I'm gonna let you go first, Q, and give me somebody who really stood out to you this week, and that you want to throw out there name wise.
Okay, well, I'm going with Santu Vähämäki for the Helsinki Roosters receiver. I said it last year. I'm going to say it again this year. He's the best finished receiver in the league. And that's just my personal opinion. Size-wise, speed, everything, that all his intangibles that he has. I said this last year, if they give him the ball, he's going to produce. And that's exactly what he did in his first game. I would love to see him with 11, 12 catch games, on the regular, because I think he'll be a force to deal with. One-on-ones, size-wise, ball in the air. There's no better receiver in Finland that can go get the ball better than Santu. He just doesn't get the opportunities enough to see it. But I know a lot of guys on the team and other people may know, but I think he definitely, from me, gets 3 stickers. Get hands down. Wish I could give him 5. But Santu,
that's what I was going to give him. Yeah.
Shout out to Santu. You definitely earned the stickers, man. You balled out. I want to see you stay healthy and stay balling. So that's who my stickers are going to.
Yeah, I actually had him on my list as well to give him 3 stickers exactly. Everything you said, ditto. That's all I'm gonna say is ditto for that. But another guy that I have on my list, I'm gonna give 2 stickers to. And again, it's not really, no one really cares 3 or 2, but I'm giving 2 stickers to Adam Cofield from the Porvoo Butchers. And now throwing out his stats, he had 7 receptions, 105 yards, 7 rushes, 49 yards, and a touchdown. But what I saw from Cofield, even though the Butchers, they didn't get the win, I don't blame this guy. I don't blame number 28. I think he made a ton of plays, one at receiver, which look at this dude. That is not his position. I don't know why. I don't know why this team decided to put him at receiver in this game. And again, that's because I'm not in the meetings. I'm not making the rosters, and that's cool. They went with what they went with. But then when he actually played running back, you could see he got something. Like he could be something as a running back on that team and for this league. But I think the Butchers are gonna have to deal with their whole ego situation of trying to, make sure they have their players play and stuff. But I really like the way he played. I really like the way he looked. Like physically, he's a specimen, and I enjoy that. He kind of reminds me of what I first saw in Christian Powell, which we're accustomed to seeing that now. But with Cofield, he's a little bit young. I guess he might be a little bit younger. I'm not sure about his age, but he looks primed and ready. And even in this game, he didn't get a lot of opportunities, but every opportunity he did, he made the most of it and looked really good. That's why I'm giving him 2 stars. Just want to let him know, man, we see you out here today. We see you. You got anybody else that you want to throw out there?
Not singled out, but I just wanted to give a helmet sticker to the Crocodiles' whole defense. Crocodiles' whole defense. I liked their presence on the field. I like their aggressiveness. Obviously, they got a chip on their shoulder from losing the Poor Bowl the year before in the championship game. And I think the Crocs, been thinking about that game all off season, and they came into this game with a statement to make, and they made it. And it was, hey, we're back. I know we think they missed their time, but it's still a lot of football to be played. But as far as the first game, even the quarterback play from the Crocs was good. Having a mobile quarterback that can move around, they run the zone read with a quarterback that can actually run. Man, the Crocs offense looked great too, but their defense just really stood out to me. So I'm giving their defense a sticker because I think a lot of times you don't come into the season and your defense looks that together. But the Crocs front seven specifically probably is the best front seven right now. I know it's only been one game, but to me, just going across the board, looking at the numbers and the guys that they have, I want to give a sticker to the Crocs whole defense.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. For me, I'm gonna go with a defensive player as well. I'm gonna go with Lars Steffen, safety from Kuopio Steelers. I'm not sure he actually plays safety anymore because that man made so many tackles and he come downhill. Like I just kept seeing him make tackles right near the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of like tackle for loss, but like as soon as someone gets past line of scrimmage, whether it's a pass or a run, 27 is there making a play and stopping any yak. The other team that they played, they had no chance to really like gain yards after anything happened. After they got past that first level, you saw Lars Steffen, and he was there every time. I think he did a really good job of that. I know obviously they're playing against a team that was trying to come from behind, but he was able to make an impact on the defense. So I'm giving him 2 stars just so you know, hey, we see you out there. He's doing a great job being a leader for that defense because they do have some problems. I'll talk about that later, though. And I think that's it for our helmet stickers. We'll move on to the next one.
Are you a fan of the American Football in Finland podcast? Show your support in style. Rock our logo proudly on hoodies, t-shirts, beanies, and snapbacks, all designed for fans like you. Join us in celebrating American football in Finland. Grab your gear and be a part of the AFF community.
Okay, so we all know what the results of last weekend's games are. That's not what we do on this podcast. We don't just talk about numbers like that. We like to explain which teams won or lost their game. And first game, Helsinki Roosters versus Wausau Royals. What do you think happened? Who won? Who lost the game?
Obviously, Helsinki Roosters won the game. They looked a lot better coached. They looked a lot better prepared for this game. Offensively, I did see some spurts at times, like with the passing game, that could be deadly for the rest of the league. But I wasn't that impressed with the Roosters defense. I really wasn't. It's just the Royals had a real basic game, running the ball. Quarterback didn't do much outside the pocket, in the pocket. So I didn't get to see enough of offense to judge the Roosters defense right now. But I did see that they sustained some injuries. So that's not good, especially for a team that already has some injuries anyway. So they have a couple people I think that's out for the season. So they're going to have to make some adjustments or either sign some other people. But the Roosters definitely won the game. The Royals, they have to make a decision. I know it's the first game. They got to play together. But I expected them to look a little better offensively, but they just didn't. So yeah. Tom Sawolski doesn't age, doesn't get old. So Tom
that
Sawolski,
man,
he's still running the rock. Like
he had over 100 yards rushing too. I think.
Yeah,
I think he had over 100 still.
Like he was gashing the Roosters front seven. He was gashing. You know what I mean? So overall, I think the Roosters definitely won the game. I just wanted to see a little bit more offense from the Royals and see them open it up a little bit more. But the Roosters definitely took care of business. They got to win, and that's all you can ask for.
I'm going to go the other way. I don't disagree with you. I do believe that the Roosters won, but also feel like the Royals lost this game, and I think they lost it mentally. I'm sorry. The first mistake was still bringing back them skid mark brown pants. That was the first mistake. First mistake. Just get a pair of blue pants or get a pair of white pants. Like I feel like that's easy. You don't have to have skid mark brown. Like they don't have to do that. Because the jersey and the helmet looks good. But then you look at the pants and you're like, what are y'all doing? So that was the first mental mistake. And then the second mental mistake, and this is why they lost the game, is I don't know why they refuse to pass the ball. There's been all this talk about, oh, we got these young receivers who are going to help Alpha out this year, and we're going to do this and this. And they did not. They did not. They just gave the ball to Tom. And even more so, they didn't just give the ball to Tom. They put in some other running backs. No offense to those other running backs, but they not Tom. A lot of their drives, when they actually got stopped, it wasn't because they couldn't run the ball. It was because they gave it to someone who couldn't run as good as Tom. And it just goes into the question of why are you doing that? Like, why was that the game plan? And then you have Theo Landers, is that his name, the quarterback? He can run.
Yeah.
They didn't use him to run. He can throw, but they didn't use him to throw. They brought him in to hand the ball off. I mean, you saw the fade route that they threw to Alpha when he went on top of Ronnie Solane, head topped him. You could do that. That's possible.
Yeah.
The offense is capable of doing that, especially based off of the play action that they were showing. But they didn't attempt to force the issue of throwing the ball or stretching the Roosters defense in any other way besides we're going to run the ball. And I mean, that's a power move saying that you can run the ball. I think they did a great job of saying, okay, we're going to run the ball. But at some point, you need some highlight plays so you can score points. And that's what they didn't do in this game. I think they lost mentally. Like, it didn't look like they were trying to win the game. It looked like they were trying to get through the game, just trying to get to the other side. And you listen to what I'm saying and what you're saying, we're talking about the Roosters defense and the Royals offense, not the other way around. I think the Royals defense wasn't great, but I don't feel like it was playing horrible. I think it played good enough, Maple League wise, that if their offense would have scored points, this game would have been different. But their offense wasn't keeping up. And then again, when you look at the Roosters offense, it was good. But again, like you said, it wasn't great. I mean, Santu Vekamaki does what he does, but they're still, missing some people for the Roosters. But I feel like the Royals really just did not give this game enough credit that they should have and try to win it. I feel like they're kind of trying to make it to the end of the season somehow. I feel like that someone's doing some math and like, okay, if we don't win this game, it's okay. We can still make playoffs. I feel like that's how they went into the game. And I don't like it. I mean, they might be right. They might still be able to make playoffs, but I don't like the way that I don't like the product they put out this week in this game. That's why I say they lost it. So I guess we can move on to the next game now. Seinäjoki Crocodiles versus Porvoo Butchers. Win or loss, who you got?
Crocodiles won the game, fair and square. Crocodiles won the game. They looked like a better team. They looked more oiled. They looked like they were ready to play in this game. Home game always for the home team usually makes you feel a lot more comfortable. But I think the Crocs wanted this game more than the Porvo did. I'm gonna just be honest. I think Porvo has to get adjusted with the new players they have and understand, like we talked about in the preseason, that everybody's coming for you now. You won a championship, so now you have to step up your play now. Things don't just happen like they happened before. And sometimes you get used to that. You had a season where your quarterback comes in and things happen every game. He seems to just make stuff happen sometimes. And then you come into a game like this where you just can't seem to get it going. And that's what Porvo looked like. They just looked like out of whack. They couldn't protect the quarterback. So he was running a lot sideline to sideline, trying to make plays happen, trying to make stuff happen. But the Crocs just had too much speed. And, I'm sure Porvo was missing some people too. So I don't want to, get on them too bad. But I think they'll regroup, and I think they'll get better during the season. But from this game right here, the Crocs won this game hands down.
I 100% agree with you, and I'm not going to say the Butchers lost. I'm going to say the Crocodiles won and give them their flowers. They had the game in the swamp. Before the game, everyone said they were going to lose the game. That's the craziest thing is, like, this was that first game, and we said it before, though, it's a statement game. They had to win this game so that people know that, hey, just because we lost that one game last year doesn't mean we're not still who we are. And, hey, respect. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to doubt you guys like that. My bad, Crocodiles. My bad. You are who we thought you were. The offense looked like it didn't miss a step from last year. Looked very similar. Like you said earlier, quarterback is a little bit more mobile, so you're able to run a little bit more of an option play, read option with the quarterback, and it's still successful. CP is CP. He's gonna get his yards as he did. Still waiting for him to throw a pass. I know he will. Also, a shout out to CP having his first child this week as well. So congratulations, Papa. Welcome to the family. Me and Q know what it's like. Also, I want to throw a little bit of Christian Powell under the bus. You said you was going to do a backflip. I'm still waiting. I'm going to remind you every week. I need to see that backflip after you score a touchdown, man. But really, the Crocodiles played really good offensively and defensively. I didn't see a lot that I didn't like. I feel like they really shored up everything from last year. The few mistakes that the little bit of issues they had last year weren't big until that last game. And then this year, they just look like a good team. And that's, like you said earlier, they were also missing some players. We know about that whole situation. This isn't a gossip podcast, so we're not going to talk about it like that. But defensively, they were great. And I didn't think they were going to be great because they don't have the same defensive line they had last year. But this defensive line is comparable. Like it's a dominant group with Charles Acano. They brought back Felix Natois. I don't remember how to say his name, but I thought they were gonna have trouble up front, and they really just dominated in this game. But I am going to talk about the losers of this game, and this is what I was talking to you about before off air about. I'm not sure if I want to, go at them, but then again, I mean, I'm all in on the Butchers, and y'all let me down. Y'all let me down. Game one, and similar to what I got from the Royals, the product you put out there is why you let me down. I don't understand why. Why would you not put Cofield at running back? You could have controlled this game with him at running back, but they decided to go another route and have him at receiver. And again, it's probably something about, okay, they didn't have enough receivers. I saw they had a young junior, Zachary Carbon, playing at receiver. I know him personally, know his situation. He should not be a Maple League receiver. So that let me know that, they were thin at the position. And I understand that. But also, again, Mickey J is a hell of a receiver. Like, I don't understand why you don't have him at receiver and let him do his thing, because as much as I gave, credit and praise to the Crocodiles defense, their corners are still suspect over there. But you didn't really get to try them.
Try them.
I think I think if you have Mickey J out there and you let Cofield run that ball, they would have had to adjust and load the box. They would have had to adjust. I feel like Cofield is the one person who might have been able to give Charles Acano a little bit of work, and that would have made the defense have to adjust. And then you can get Mickey involved. Sepinen is going to do what he does. He played decently, but only opportunities to have. And then up front, I looked at this Porvu Butchers O-line. On paper, and even physically looking at them, they're better than what they had last year. They're bigger, they're more experienced, but similar to the Cofield and Mickey J situation, they're playing out of position. Their best offensive lineman is at left tackle. That makes sense. But their left guard is a tackle playing at guard. He's oversized, he can't get down, and he can't move. So they have him playing at guard. He's a liability. I want to say number 73. I don't know his name. I just know his number. He's a liability in that position. That's not where he should be playing, though. He might be better at right tackle, but they have Osavada out there at right tackle, and he couldn't block Charles Acano. He won't be able to block fast linemen. He's a right tackle. He's not going to be able to block defensive ends. Why is he still out there? I feel like they're going to switch up something. I don't know, but I hope that the Butchers fix this personnel situation. And I know someone's going to come online like, yeah, but they were missing this guy. They were missing. I don't give two shits. What you put on the field is what I'm going to talk about. And what I saw on the field was a team that didn't know how to play with the people they had. You had your quarterback running around like he was a chicken with his head cut off and just throwing the ball. A lot of times, I don't think he was actually trying to get to receivers. I think he was just trying to get the ball out of his hands. And that's not a situation you want for the rest of the season going on each week. But of course, I do have faith that they'll get it fixed. But this game, I did not like what I saw, and I feel like Porter Butchers let me down, man. Don't you? And I tell you this much, if you let me down again, I'll bring it back, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say it right now out of respect for the champions. But if you let me down again, I'm gonna bring it right on back. So we'll move on to the third game of the weekend. We had the Loyha Crusaders versus the Kuopio Steelers. Win or loss? Who you got in this one, Coach Q?
Kuopio Steelers won the game. Once again, all of the home teams looked real good in these games.
They were away team. They were the away team in this game. They were away team.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Kuopio was at home, but they looked like playing like they was at home.
They played like they was at home.
They played like it was home. So I take that back. Kuopio looked seasoned, man. They look like their quarterback, look like their imports have been there practicing with them. That's what they look like. They look like that they're serious. I'll say that. They look like they're serious. They're ready for the season, and they wanted to show the rest of the league that hey, we ain't fell off. We made some changes, but we still Kuopio. And they won this game fair and square. Like I said, it was an unmatched game. You could tell just from watching it. The Crusaders have a lot of building to do. They have a lot of things to figure out at the first game. And I'm sure they had, expectations it was certain things that they maybe want to see from their players. I don't think they expected to go out there and blow out Kuopio or anything like that. But I think they got enough to see like, hey, we really need help in these certain positions, or they might have guys coming in that will fill and help out and make them look a lot better than they looked this first game. So I'll just leave it at that. But Kuopio definitely won the game.
Yeah, I agree. Kuopio won. They overmatched this team. And it's one of those things, like you said, even though the Crusaders lost, you look at this game, you're like, okay, they just weren't going to be able to match up in any position or anything. Obviously, the Steelers, we've said things preseason, and even in this show, they're probably going to want us to say, some nicer things about them. But what we don't do is we don't glaze people on this show. That's not something we do. Like, you beat a team that you were better than. Congratulations. And we're not going to go over that too much. But I do want to talk about the quarterback from the Crusaders. I thought he looked good. Surprisingly, he was very agile. He could throw the ball. I was really impressed when he pump faked the D lineman from the Steelers. I don't know who number 3 is, the defensive lineman from the Steelers.
Yeah.
But he pump faked him and spun around, and the dude just stopped and looked and thought he threw the ball. Like, that's how good his pump fake was. And then he just rolled out. I was like, oh, my God, that's crazy. But I like the quarterback. I think he's good. I think the running back is also pretty good. He's a taller running back than what we're used to. Yeah. But he's strong, and he can run. But it does go back to the situation of, are those the only 2 imports they have? I don't know who they have on defense, or if they do have a defensive import, he wasn't able to make an impact. And that's the issue that we knew the Crusaders were going to have, is they don't have a lot of depth, so their imports need to be spectacular. And I don't think this group is, and not in a bad way. I think they played as good as you can expect them to play with the teammates they had. Shout out to the receiver, though, number 4. Oskari Suaniemi. Hey, man. I was gonna give him stickers, but I didn't have time to. But I just want to throw out, he had 8 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, and he did expose a weakness for the Steelers. And Steelers probably don't want to hear this, but y'all still need some corners, because that was a weakness. Because he exposed them pretty well. I think they did a good job. I think the Steelers did a good job of containing him as much as you could, but it really didn't matter because the Crusaders' defense wasn't going to stop anything. And that's just the hardest part about it. It was just overmatched game. I know I'm talking too much on it, but I did want to say to the Crusaders that we see y'all got a little something cooking, and we appreciate a little something, but y'all do need more players on defense to be able to stop teams, because the Steelers are probably going to be one of the highest scoring teams, but they're not too much further off than most of the teams when it comes to offense. everybody's going to be able to score. So Crusaders going to have to figure something out. And I think that's it for win or loss. So we're good.
Hey there, fans of American football in Finland. Want to show some love and support to your favorite podcast? For just €3, you can buy us a cup of coffee and help keep our podcast running strong. But why stop at one cup? Why not support each host with a cup? Visit buymeacoffee.com and show your support today. Cheers to keeping the conversation going.
All right, that's it for this episode of American Football in Finland. Q, any last words before we get out of here?
No, just it felt good to watch some football, man. Like you said, it's the first week, so a lot of the teams they lost some guys got injured. This is a time where I think all the teams, kind of looked at the other teams and say, hey, okay, we might need to have a meeting to figure out how we're going to deal with this. And I like that the season started the way it did, because the normal and what people thought were going to happen in some aspect didn't happen that way. So, especially for the Porvo game, I ain't gonna lie, the Porvo game surprised me. I definitely thought Porvo was gonna look a lot better, but like I said, it's the first week. You got to step up. You got to be better, and it's as simple as that. But I like what I seen from the Crocs. Like I said, I'll reiterate that the Crocs quarterback play was real good, and I like what I seen from him. So, other than that, man, I can't wait to this next round of games.
Yeah, for me, last thing I want to talk about is the uniforms. Again, Royals, do something about them pants. I don't like it. Skid Mark Brown, I don't like it at all. Other than that, also the Crusaders uniforms. I really feel like this is the opportunity. You got new board, new coaches. Like, if they could just maybe do something simpler, instead of whatever they got going on. But they're the only team that, like, when they get on the field, I feel like they're like a Division 1 or Division 2 team playing against everybody else, because their uniforms, like, the uniforms don't look like, they look like they're trying too hard, and that's what, like, yeah, that's what those teams that don't have anything to do besides, like, design jerseys, that's what they do. And another dig at the Butchers. Maybe they should have spent more time, practicing instead of doing the photo shoot about the new unis, right? Because I mean, that actually,
They promoted the hell out of that game. They promoted the hell out of it. I give them that, because when I'm scrolling through my IG, I say, man,
that's all you see.
That's Colorado. Like, I'm like, whoa, boy, they really good. So I was expecting that type of energy when the game came, and then when the game came,
they didn't have the energy.
Oh, whoa, they don't look like Porvo of last year. Like, so maybe just first game jitters or whatever it is. But man, yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, they got to get the helmets fixed too, though, because there's a lot of the guys that have, like, the painted helmets. They actually play for ECG or something, because they're yellow underneath and stuff. I think they need to get those helmets painted, and also, like, throw, like, a logo on there. I think a number. I would do a number, right, on the gold helmet, like a number on one side, or maybe maybe the Butcher's logo would work. I don't know, but I feel like if they did that, it'd be all right. Or maybe switch it up, guys. Get black helmets. I think if Porvo had black helmets instead of gold, with the black on black uniform, it'd be real nice. But even with the white uniform, it'll look good. With they could have a gold logo, like gold logo sticker. But yeah, that's all. That's all I got for last words. Uniforms and stuff. So now that last weekend is over, you can catch us talking about the upcoming games tomorrow right here on the AFF podcast. So subscribe, follow, like, and share on all social channels at American Football in Finland. Until next time, never forget
T-I-F.
Okay. We gone.
And we gone.